We are taught that the ideal college romance looks like a fairy tale, the popular, top-of-the-class senior sweeping you off your feet. But when that flawless exterior slips, the reality underneath is often something much darker. This is the exact dynamic explored in Cheese in the Trap. The story follows a highly perceptive student who realizes her seemingly perfect senior peer hides a cold, calculating nature behind his bright smile. The true terror of her situation lies in her profound isolation. She knows she is the only person who senses the danger, while all of her friends remain completely blinded by his charm. Have you ever felt that inexplicable, uneasy feeling in your stomach around someone who is universally loved by everyone else? Figuring out why that happens requires us to understand the precise mechanics of covert manipulation. By studying this dynamic, we learn how to dismantle the psychological trap set for us in plain sight. A trap never looks like a trap when you first walk into it. Toxic relationships rarely begin with obvious warning signs. They begin with a heavy, overwhelming flood of positivity. Psychologists identify this initial phase as love bombing. A manipulator uses an intense, rapid-fire display of affection, attention, and grand gestures to rapidly bypass a target's normal boundaries. Look at this graph comparing relationship timelines. A healthy connection builds gradually, establishing trust, but a love-bombing campaign creates a violent, artificial spike in intimacy. This sudden influx of favors might look like kindness. In reality, it creates an immense psychological debt. These early displays of extreme affection function as calculated transactions, designed to leave the target feeling too obligated to ever walk away. The manipulator's power grows exponentially when they operate inside a closed ecosystem. A college campus, a workplace, or a tight-knit friend group accelerates how quickly the trap snaps shut. Because the manipulator holds high social capital and a pristine public reputation, they can subtly influence the people around you, slowly orchestrating your social isolation. They weaponize the environment itself. They manipulate mandatory group projects, exploit academic hierarchies, and plant quiet rumors until you have nowhere else to turn for help. By monopolizing the social environment, they ensure you become entirely dependent on them. They cut off your access to external reality checks, making their version of events the only one that matters. Once you are isolated, the snare tightens. The psychological abuse becomes active, persistent, and entirely invisible to anyone outside the dynamic. Plausible deniability relies on deliberate ambiguity, allowing a manipulator to hide their tracks by framing targeted harm as a series of simple accidents. The manipulator orchestrates these deeply harmful situations, but executes them in a way that can easily be brushed off as a misunderstanding or a lapse in judgment if they are ever directly confronted. Because you can never definitively prove the intent behind the abuse, a thick fog rolls over your perception. The constant, dizzying inability to validate what you know is happening causes a severe gaslighting effect. A manipulator achieves total control when their target begins to distrust the reliability of their own mind. Understanding these mechanics gives you power. You now have the specific psychological vocabulary required to identify and name these toxic behaviors the moment they happen. The mechanical, predictable reality of these coercive tactics replaces the initial illusion of the perfect partner. Cheese in the Trap serves as a crucial cautionary tale. It warns us about the severe danger of prioritizing someone's polished external perfection over their true internal character. Manipulation thrives entirely in the dark. Once you recognize the pattern of the trap, the manipulator loses their ability to use confusion as a weapon against you. Your ultimate defense against covert manipulation is an unwavering trust in your own lived reality and your internal alarm system. If a situation or a person appears too good to be true, but your gut instinct signals danger, always prioritize your gut. Recognizing these red flags early is a skill you can develop to protect yourself from ever getting caught in the snare. To continue building your psychological armor and mastering the hidden motives behind human behavior, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the video on screen right now.